Welcome back. Still had back to 91.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. Adedayo. 8 minutes come past 5 o'clock. Conversation continues. Many thanks for staying tuned. Now, recently, leaders, elders from the Ogoni land here in Rivers State paid a visit to President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja, and several matters concern Ogoni land and Ogoni people were discussed, and the results of the aftermath of this discussions and some of the issues that were raised at the meeting have raised plenty of dust, or at least have formed the basis of several discussions across the country, especially, of course, for people of the Ogoni extraction of Rivers State. And well, some of those issues, especially the ones generating some dust or raising some controversy at the moment, is what we're discussing right now. You can find different versions in different days. But let's talk about some of the issues. And this one is published, according to Buhari. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari said he will consider 1990 accused of being responsible for the murder of 4 Ogoni chiefs at a pro-government meeting. Mr. Saro-Wiwa and the others were sentenced to death by hanging by a special military tribunal. Several Nigerians believe Mr. Saro-Wiwa and the others were framed up for the murder because of their very impactful non-violent campaign against oil extraction and the continuous degradation of Ogoni land by the government-backed multinational oil companies, especially the Royal Dutch Shell. Mr. Buhari on Friday spoke about Mr. Saro-Wiwa's execution, the need for clemency and national integration as part of this administration's bid to lay the foundation for genuine reconciliation and bring closure to the issues of Ogoni land. The president said this when he received some leaders and people of Ogoni at the presidential villa in Abuja. President said, I quote, "In spite of the grievous circumstances, the federal government will starting with this, the unfortunate incidents of the early 1990s leading to the loss of lives of distinguished sons of Ogoni land and the collateral judicial processes are indelible in our memories. In spite of the grievous circumstances, the federal government will consider the request for grant of pardon to finally close the Ogoni saga. And he asked Ogoni leaders to educate the people in the communities on the need for them to protect oil pipelines and other oil installations. Quote, when pipelines are broken, damage is more to the immediate environment and the people. The majority of farmers and fishermen struggle because the fishes now move to the deep sea. To ensure the stimulation of economic activities in the Ogoni land as underpinned by the vast petroleum resources underlying the Ogoni land at neighboring communities, NPDC, a subsidiary of NNPC, has been granted license to operate OML 11. According to NNPC, accordingly, NNPC is hereby directed to engage all host communities, particularly Ogoni people, to ensure inclusive processes of oil and gas exploration and production is anchored on optimum involvement of host communities. NPDC will lay a broad-based program for the emergence of a new Ogoni land for the benefit of the Ogoni people and Nigeria as a whole." So, let's talk about this development and its implications for the entire country and especially the people of Ogoni land. And joining me in the studio for this conversation at this time is Mr. Emmanuel Barinuazor. Emmanuel Barinuazor is the President, National Youth Council of Ogoni People, NYCOP. Emmanuel, good evening to you. You're welcome to Hard Facts.
Good evening, Dayo and Rivers State.
We'll get to the nitty-gritty of the matters that were discussed in a moment and the President's comments. But let's start with the representation. Those leaders and elders of Ogoni land who represented Ogoni, I suppose, at the meeting with Mr. President. Was that mission, that visit to Abuja to the President, was it truly representative of the people of Ogoni land?
Well, I don't see that visit as a pan-Ogoni visit because in Ogoni we have MOSOP, Kagote, Supreme Council, and other political leaders. If you look on that visit, there was no youth representation, there was no female. It was just a group of friends, political friends that went there to seek for their own personal opinion, what they feel is their interest. Because all what they went there for was oil resumption. Because we got information few days before the visit that they already met in London, which they signed agreement, which some of them got 3%, 2%, also whatever share that they feed, it will be beneficiary to them and their family. So that was not a pan-Ogoni visit because we have people like Ledomite, which is one of the founding fathers of MOSOP. We have people like Kobani, Magnus Abe. Did you see them? None of them was there. So they went there on their own personal interest. And they were there just for her to take the MPDC through the backyard, through the back door to Ogoni. But thank God, the spirit of Ogoni exposed them because they quarreled even right there in Abuja. When they got to the dinner, where they were supposed to have the presidential dinner, there was heavy quarrel within them, and all of them parted ways. Nobody drank water out of the dinner that they set. So we, the youth of Ogoni, we saw that as their own personal movement, because if that was supposed to be a pan-Ogoni movement, the youth was supposed to be represented, the women group, and we were supposed to hold a meeting in the village to discuss what we are going to present to the government. And if you look at what they present to the government, they say, pardon for Ken Saro-Wiwa. How will you, as an Ogoni man, go and ask for somebody that has hurt you, ask for pardon?
We'll come to that in a moment, the issue of the pardon and some of the other details of what we discussed. You said that that delegation was not truly representative of Ogoni people. You had traditional rulers from Ogoni land. You had people whose names are quite, whose names ring a bell when you talk about the Ogoni struggle, when you talk about anything about Ogoni land at all. There's no way you would mention some of those names and you would not, one or two things will not come to mind. And once again, very important, you had even a high-ranking traditional ruler as well from Ogoni land in that meeting. And then you say that it was not representative of Ogoni people.
In Ogoni, we have 6 kingdoms. And the 6th kingdom in Ogoni has 6 first-class chiefs, 6 kings. So was the 6th first-class chief there? No. We only have 1 first-class chief that was there, which is King Ginewa.
And he does not represent Ogoni interests?
Ogoni is a king. Ogoni has 6 kingdoms, 1 national territory, and 1 special area. And when you want to say when you talk about Ogoni, the 6 kingdoms that represent Ogoni must be seated on the table to discuss, and not only 1 kingdom representing the entire 6 kingdom.
All right, so let's move on from that for a moment. Now, if this person's, visited the president, what's stopping other groups or other individuals, maybe such as your organization, NYCOP, which is representing the youth population, I do believe, and I imagine that there might be a group representing women interests also. What's stopping you from organizing some meeting with the president as well under some other banner, also representing Ogoni interests?
We don't think it's right for us to visit the president to discuss about oil matter. The president of Federal Republic of Nigeria know that they have hurt Ogoni. So if they need oil, they should come to Ogoni and let us, and for us to discuss, not for us to go to Abuja and discuss what is our own right.
Oh, we'll come back to the matter at the moment. Let's talk about a very contentious matter as far as this visit is concerned. The president is talking about the possibility of granting Ken Saro-Wiwa and the other Ogoni 8 state pardon for their convictions for which they were executed several years ago. What is your organization's position on discussions about granting state pardon to Ken and the others?
In the first place, we Ogoni people should be the one that will grant pardon to the Nigeria state. Ken Saro-Wiwa and co did not commit any sin. It is only any crime. It is only criminals that they can be granted pardon. They were unjustly killed. They were innocent. So what we demand from the government is apology and not pardon. You can only give pardon to a militant, to a criminal, to somebody that was convicted in a court. Ken Saro-Wiwa was only tried in a kangaroo court headed by Justice Auta. And if you look at the state of Nigeria today, people that surround the administration of Buhari, we have people like the custom man Ali. He was part of the junta. The Professor Gambari, who was the person that stood in the floor of the United Nations and called the Ogoni 9 criminals, is the chief of staff today to the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So we don't deserve pardon. What we want from them is apology, and Ogoni people should be the people that we pardon the Nigeria state for doing us the evil that they did to us. Because from the creation of the world, it is only Ogoni that 9 people has been hanged one day without committing crime. What was the question Ken and Co asked? Our land is polluted. Today, are they not cleaning Ogoni land, spending billions of naira, $1 billion to clean Ogoni land? We said they should give us a share of profit, that they cannot come to our land to take our oil by force to develop the north and Lagos. Today, are they not seeing what they are facing in the Niger Delta, today, I think they are talking about PIB 3%. Is it not the same question that we raised in the 90s? So at this point, we are telling President Muhammadu Buhari to take the pardon to the state of Nigeria. What we deserve from the government is apology, because they need to apologize to the Ogoni people. And they were very funny. You want to come for oil resumption. First of all, you start with pardon. That means the Nigeria state purposely kick and Saro-Wiwa know that a day like this will come that they will say, we pardon you because we want to drill your oil. And if it is on that basis that they want to come to Ogoni, then the oil will remain on the soil, because nobody will take the oil until they apologize to the Ogoni people.
Oh, you talked about some of the issues that Ken and the others and other activists of Ogoni extraction brought to the fore years ago, and even are still discussing, not just in Nigeria but all over the world. And you also identify that these things that were raised as far back as then, in the 90s, have been addressed now. The issue of pollution, we have to clean up, that's commenced already, even though there are contentions as to its efficacy and effectiveness or efficiency at the moment, but it has commenced nonetheless. You mentioned several other things as to benefits to host communities. That also has been addressed.
Economic.
Pardon me, with the PIB becoming the PI, now becoming law, now becoming the PIA. Yes, there are still question marks as to what percentage is going to host communities, but at least we've been at the PIB thing for several years now, and that's finally been addressed. Whatever shortcomings that we have with it is being said can always be addressed as we move ahead. So some of those issues raised by Ken and others, activists, living or dead, are being addressed right now. Even you identify that. What then is stopping the resumption of exploration of oil in Ogoni land?
Well, what is stopping the resumption of Ogoni oil is that we deserve apology from Ken, from the Nigeria state, because Ken and co will not die in vain. We asked for 3 cardinal things as part of our demand. We said our environment was damaged, which is still damaged today. We asked for economic strangulation, because up to today we have not seen any benefit. Then we also asked for participation in Nigeria state politics. 30 years after, Ogoni son has not become governor in the state. Ogoni son has not become the chief judge of the state. We've not become deputy speaker. So apart from the clean up that it is ongoing, which we are not sure that they will complete, all our demand is still there pending, which they must attend to.
Let's talk about your demand. So you talked about the degradation of the environment. Okay, pardon me. I think we have to go for a commercial break right now. We'll return in a moment after that, and we'll look at your demand. So the first one, but before the break, you mentioned the degradation. The cleanup has commenced. Talked about economic strangulation. That's being addressed somewhat, I suppose, with the PIB becoming PIA. Host communities are getting percentages right now. If exploration commences in Ogoni land, that percentage will definitely go to Ogoni people in those communities. So one could say that is being addressed, or maybe even has been addressed right now. The issue of the third matter, political participation, isn't that politics? Isn't that simply about negotiating? The federal government is not going to declare an Ogoni person as the governor of River State, for example. But we'll come to that when we return from the commercial break. Deep State and Hard Facts continue shortly.
Headline News, Nigeria Info on
92.3.
Headline News.
Good evening, I am Constance Mega with the news. Governor Wike says lack of courage among judges undermining public confidence in judiciary as lawyers converge in Port Harcourt for NBA conference. President Buhari launches digital currency e-Naira. River State government urged to keep promise made to Joe Blankson's widow. Sit at home continues in southeast states. On the foreign scene, protest breaks out as Sudan's military dissolves government, declares state of emergency. In business, Facebook whistleblower Frances Hogan gives evidence to UK politicians amid fresh revelations about Facebook's inner workings. In entertainment, British singer Ed Sheeran tests positive for COVID-19. And in sports, Cristiano Ronaldo says Manchester United's supporters deserve much better after Liverpool beats them 5-0 at Old Trafford on Sunday. Those are the headlines. More news comes your way at 6. Contact our newsroom on 0818 900 0017.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts with Diode.
Welcome back. Still Hard Facts 91.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dyer. Discussions continue. We got about 28 minutes ago before 6 p.m. Major news for the hour at 6. My guest who's joined me at the studio, still Emmanuel Barinuazor. He's President, National Youth Council of Ogoni People, NYCOP. Emmanuel, you're welcome once again.
Thank you, Day.
We're discussing the President, Buhari, considering state pardon for Ken Saro-Wiwa, amongst other matters discussed with Ogoni leaders in Abuja quite recently. So, very quickly, let's tackle those three issues you mentioned once again before we went for the break. You talked about economic strangulation. That appears to have been handled right now or addressed by the passage of the PIB, not the PIA. You talked about the environmental degradation. We've got a clean-up. That's commenced already. It has commenced. You talked about political participation. The federal government is not going to declare an Ogoni person the governor of Rivers State or deputy governor of Rivers State or the chief judge of Rivers State. The federal government doesn't have any such powers. So, what exactly is it that still remains a question mark as regards having oil exploration resume in Ogoni land?
Well, I think the three main demand has not still been met. Despite that cleanup is ongoing, there is still many big fights to be. There is still many fights, unfinished business on the environmental issue. There are still flaring gas in Ogoni up to this moment. So many things that were supposed to be done has not been met. So the issue of environmental justice has not been met as far as we know, because they say it will take us 25 to 30 years. Then on the issue of economical strangulation, if you go to Ogoni, there is no single company in Ogoni. The poverty level in Ogoni is 98%, just about 2% that is rich. That is why you can see our leaders because they can pay flight, they can go to Abuja, joke with us, play with legend at home. The issue of political marginalization is still ongoing till date. Voters registration is ongoing right now. Census is ongoing. If you go to Ogoni...
No, there's no census ongoing.
Okay, voters registration is ongoing.
Yeah.
But if you go to Ogoni, government has deliberately allowed Ogoni to be insecure. Allow the place to be porous that more than 50 communities in Ogoni, nobody is inside. So whom will you capture? Whom will they capture? Our voting strength is going on day by day because of the government has refused to use its political will to make sure that there is peace in Ogoni for 31 years. And when it comes to appointment, if you look at the state today, an inquiry man is a governor, an inquiry man is a minister. Last administration, it was same. Ogoni man has not been allowed to participate politically in politics within his free right because of they have made sure that our voting strength is going down day by day.
You have had Ogoni people representing Ogoni people, Ogoni land in different areas. In the House of Assembly, you have representation naturally. In the National Assembly, you have representation as well naturally. You have people of Ogoni extraction who have been appointed to governments, previous governments, current government as well, and even at the national level also.
We have them, but from 1999 till date, I will tell you the truth. Ogoni man has not been allowed to choose the leader for himself. It has always been imposed by outsiders on us, people that they will use, people that they will control. From 1990 to today, we have not been able to say this is the leader that we voted for. This is who we want. They will sit down in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, and impose their stooge on us. So
you're saying that every Ogoni person who has been appointed to some position, either at the state level or the federal level, every single one of these Ogoni sons are stooges and do not represent the interests of Ogoni land?
They did not represent the interests of Ogoni land. But if you represent the interests of Ogoni land, there has been ongoing insecurity crisis, killing. We have lost more than 4,000 youth for like 4 or 5 years now. Has any of them been able to come up and say this must stop? When they go home with their police security. Are they sleeping in their village? No.
You talk about economic strangulation still. Now, if all exploration resumes in Ogoni land, you talked about a high level of poverty. You said there isn't one company in Ogoni land. If all exploration resumes in Ogoni land, definitely that's going to have humongous multiply effects as far as the economy in Ogoni land is concerned. Besides the fact that the oil companies are going to return, some at least, NPDC I think on the way to returning already, if not there already. You're going to have the multiply effects, the value chain in the oil and gas industry. Ogoni people, some of them will be employed, no doubt. Some other businesses that service the oil and gas industry will open up. Ogoni people will be employed. Ogoni people might even set up some of those businesses as well. And so the economic multiply effect is going to be incredible. Jobs will be created. There's going to be a lot more money in circulation. The strangulation we speak of is definitely going to fizzle into thin air. So what's wrong with that picture?
We are not totally against oil resumption in Ogoni land. But NPDC, no. Because NPDC and share, they are the same. Share is even better than NPDC. And when you talk about economic multiply, when oil companies will come, the PIA did not favor the Ogoni people. If you look at it very well, we have our own template. We are asking for 15%. And you are telling us 3%. What will 3% do for us? We know that when oil will resume in Ogoni, things will change. And our own focus is not on the oil. It is gas that we have in abundance. But government should do the right thing. Government should come down to us and ask us what we want and not what they want to give to us, because we have sacrificed it for this country. For 35 years of oil exploration to the state of this country. And our money was used to develop Abuja, Lagos, and other good cities that they have today. So the good we will want from government, let them come and give us a template how they want to develop Ogoni. Ogoni is a small place of 404 square meters. If they want to develop, it will not take them anything to develop Ogoni. But it will not be what they are doing in other places. If you look at where they are drilling oil in Omo, Ogoni, has there been any development? No. But we want to say this is the development blueprint we want. This is what ABC we want, and you must give it to us and not treat us the same way. One thing they fail to understand is that we are in 2021. Not in 1958 that they met with our father without any proper agreement. Not in 1958 that they came to Ogoni without any roadmap, any blueprint. At 21st century, that oil is already going. That is our only hope. They should come and give us a blueprint, how to develop.
You said you don't want Shell, but from information available, it doesn't appear that Shell is interested in returning to Ogoni either. What is wrong with the NPDC, and what company or companies in particular would Ogoni prefer to come for this resumption?
If you go to communities where MPDC is operating. I think they have one of the worst standard. They are in worry. What is happening in worry? Nothing. Discuss with an IOC. Whom we have Ogoni people at heart and the community, and their headquarters will be in Ogoni and not in Port Harcourt or anywhere, so that if they fail, we can hold them accountable, just that we are suing them in The Hague, just as we got judgment from UK, just as we got judgment from New York. We don't need local company. Local companies will work under them, but any companies that will work in Ogoni must be one of those IOCs if share is leaving. But MPDC, I don't think will accept them.
You talk about insecurity in Ogoni land as well. The persons who are fermenting these troubles and its insecurity, are they not Ogoni people?
Most of them are not Ogoni people.
Who are they?
The government know them. Because we have the DSS that has security data. We have the DSS that knows how to get information at any time that they need information.
All right, I guess we'll have to wrap up this conversation on this note. Many thanks for your time. Thanks for listening, especially my guest, Emmanuel Barinuazor, his president, National Youth Council of Ogoni People, NYCOP. Many thanks for your time. Wish you and the people of Ogoni land the very best.
But it was.
All right, okay. Any final words, Dan?
My fellow Ogoni brothers, I want you to be rest assured that very soon we will call for Ogoni Congress, where we will meet ourselves and discuss on a way forward for oil resumption. Don't be panicked. NYCOP is here to take over this responsibility as a big brother youth and to ensure that everything that came forth for will come to pass. And we are telling this Nigeria state to apologize to Ogoni people, and we will grant them pardon for what evil they have done to us. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Commercial break comes up right now. We got a major news for the hour at 6 p.m. Open season comes up after that. If you missed out on any matter discussed on the show today, I'll take your thoughts during